Niles the Flenser. Oh, you have a lot of stuff on you, huh? Okay, what's this? Face Ripper. There we go. Procure a ripped off face that can be used for shapeshifting. Blows up your target. This grisly device is used for removing intact faces from suitable corpses. For what, you may well ask? Those who practice such arcane arts use them for crafting shapeshifting masks. Meat Golem Cage Key. Chastity. Seems fine as a dagger, but I don't really need daggers. Abstinence. Resurrection Scroll. Some healing, some gold.
Exquisite. The perfect tool to rip a face from a corpse.
Well, I mean, you have
I think I shall call it the Face Ripper.
That is a good
now
name.
to harvest a few samples, gather some source orbs, and craft a new mask.
Well, okay, I mean, you have a mask right now, but I'll give you the Face Ripper. How about that? You can have it in your inventory. Also, we found some equipment, didn't we? Earlier. This one, Magus's Mantle, is anyone's equipment inferior to that. Yours isn't. Yours isn't. Yours isn't. I think we don't really need that. Another thing I wanted to do was go somewhere where we can sell and buy stuff. That seems like a good thing to do since we have plenty of money now. Let's get that. A meat golem. You don't have anything on you. That's okay. You have some money. Very good. Bloodied leg. Let's pick that up as well. As a chunk of flesh. That's just wonderful. Meat golem, some more money. No, nothing on you. That's okay. I'm not gonna pick up all the buckets. A chunk of flesh. Empty cup, bucket, not really necessary, all that. You can eat some stuff now. We have... What do we have? What do we have? We have the bloodied leg. Come on, please. There you go.
You had a taste for wine and ale, as well as a variety of other sensual pleasures. Life is a coffer replete with countless delights.
Okay. Anything else? Is that...
Your mind is empty as a new moon. Something seems to have cleared it out, scrubbed the corners, bleached the halls. The nothingness is oddly comfortable.
Okay, wonderful. Now that's some eaten body parts. Anything else that's good? No, that's the Hands of the Tyrant. I don't want to see your face again. These ones, Spellcaster's Fingers, 3/9. Okay, Thane already has those. Well, you have the Teleportation Gloves. Those are better. Obviously not armor-wise, but the teleportation skill is very useful. You have 8/2, and those are 3/9. So that's, first of all, better armor-wise overall. But it also gives +2 initiative. Let's equip those. So Beast goes a bit faster in the order. Okay. Other than that, the Flenser didn't have that much lying around, I suppose. That's fine by me. But it seems like we have looted this place. Oh wait, there's a wretched torso. It's just one. That's just wonderful. Wretched torso. Some tongs. I don't really need those. Those weigh some stuff, but aren't really worth much as far as I can recall, right? No, actually they're worth some money. Not bad. I'm gonna sell those. Oh.
I must say, I was hoping to enjoy a smug advantage over everyone else. Lacking skin may make me a target for mortals, but I am mercifully immune to mosquitoes.
Fair enough.
However, they are infuriating when they get in one's skull. I can barely hear myself think.
Ask Thane what our next move should be. You're curious, his people, the Eternals. What were they like?
Ah, this is perhaps the first intelligent question you have asked. After all, one should always try to learn from one's betters.
Smirk, of course, that's what you're doing. Bite your tongue and let him continue. Actually, you just remembered you don't care. I'm gonna smirk, of course.
My people are a race far beyond anything that exists in the world today. We seek to master the secrets of the universe. We craft wonders to last through the ages, long after your crude tools have rusted to nothing.
Ask where these wonders are now, if they were built if they were built to last so long.
I do not know. There are rumors that some have been found at the Black Pits, an oil field on Reaper's Coast. I was trying to uncover the truth when I was waylaid by these magisters. But wherever the artifacts of my people are, I will find them. We have not simply vanished into thin air.
Wonder what they looked like.
There is a great variety among our people. Some are tall and lithe, others short and muscled. Some come in a variety of eye-catching colors. Others you can barely see at all. This is what makes you such an abomination, you see. You look almost exactly like every other lizard out there, just as every human looks like every other human.
Hey now.
Walking through this world is as repulsively bland as staring at a wall for a century. After a while, the very sight of you disgusts me. No offense, of course.
Correct him, he keeps using the present tense when he should be using the past. Sure, you know what? You were arrogant to me right now, so
No, I should not. Not yet. Not until I know what truly befell my people. And, after all, I am still here, despite the Voidwoken's best efforts.
Okay, let's change the subject. Ask Fane why he's so ignorant about the world? Sure.
Ignorant? I dare say I have a better knowledge of this world than any creature living in it. Oh, I may be missing some social mores or be unaware of what king waged which war, but why nitpick?
Observe that he doesn't seem to be a fan of history. You agree you always did find history a little tedious. I'm gonna go with the first one here.
Your history is an interminably dull list of mortals that were born, achieved nothing of worth, and then died. Certainly one may have expanded his kingdom, or another invented some way of pickling fish, but what does it matter? Where will your kingdoms be in 100 years? In 1,000? They will all be dust, along with each and every one of your great heroes.
Point out that he's a scholar. Doesn't that make his job kind of pointless? Ask the skeleton what is worth knowing then. You know what? I'll be a bit on the ruder side. I like Fane. I think he's very fun, but you know, if he's being a bit condescending, then I can be too.
Your people and nations come and go, mayflies screaming their importance at a universe that cannot listen. But the universe is always there. The laws that govern your states change over centuries, but the laws of the world... Even when my people walked this land, a dropped apple still fell to the ground. I have yet to see the mortal king that can decree all apples must fall up from their trees, or order fire to produce cold instead of heat. No, these laws stretch to infinity. Understanding them lets you understand the world. That is knowledge worth having. Everything else is arguing over who has built the prettiest sandcastle as the waves creep closer.
Okay, so natural sciences and the like. Sure, I can get down with that. I've always been a bit of a fan of science myself. In school, science was always my thing. I'm gonna compliment his mask. It's really quite convincing.
Well, of course it is. It was crafted with care. 100% ethically harvested from mortals, too. The quality is second to none.
Ask how you ethically harvest faces from corpses. That's fine. I mean, we've killed people. If we take their face or not, after we loot all their, all their stuff from them, doesn't really matter, all things considered. Say that he must really enjoy battlefields. Change the subject. Must really enjoy battlefields.
Up to a point, certainly. They are frightfully loud. but the selection afterwards is quite good. The faces are often what you might call fixer-uppers, but they're young and quite serviceable, if you get them before the flies do. Poison is preferred, of course. No marks to the face, the subject can be of any age, and death is often quite peaceful. Not for them, of course, but it's significantly more relaxing for me.
Okay, yeah, sure, let's ask, why not?
Oh, you simply wait until the creature is dead, preferably of natural causes. Although that does limit your choices somewhat. You may end up with quite a few sagging faces.
Okay.
I will never understand why you have so readily accepted aging, or digestion. They are frightful pastimes.
I mean, kind of. Let's change the subject. Ask Fane what happened to him.
I fell victim to the enemy of all great minds. Fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of change. These are the things that poison civilizations. I was on the cusp of a glorious breakthrough, but my king's fear held me back.
Ask him what this breakthrough was.
I discovered a veil hanging across the universe. A barrier of pure source.
That does sound significant, yes?
It was amazing. The kind of discovery on which a civilization turns. Who knows what secrets may have been hidden behind that curtain? But my king forbade me from further investigation.
What was the king so afraid of?
Do you know, I never thought to ask. Between him purging me and casting me into a traitor's tomb. What a foolish oversight! If only I'd had your prescience and curiosity, I could have saved myself centuries of pondering that very question.
And he purged you for being curious? That seems a little rough.
Well, certainly he was not pleased with my insistence that we investigate. But the king's word is law. Was law. But the reason I was purged was slightly less intellectual. After the king refused to let me investigate the veil, I brought the issue up with others.
Ah.
The Seven Lords. Beneath the king in authority, but far above me. I brought them my research. I showed them everything. I had hoped they would help me convince the king of his error, but before they or I could act, I was arrested and... well, my sentence was carried out.
If it's a barrier of pure source, he could have used it to gather great power then.
I mean, yes. I suppose you could have drained the power from it, but that would have weakened it significantly. It would be quite irresponsible. After all, the power of the thing is not the point. It hid something. Who knows what that might have been? The secrets to the universe could have lain behind that curtain. But I was not given the chance to find out. Now, I fear I never will.
Let's ask how he feels about his king.
He ceased to be my king the moment he turned on me.
Good.
I did nothing wrong. All I wanted was to further the knowledge of the Eternals. Who knows? Had I been allowed to continue my studies, perhaps I could have warded off whatever catastrophe befell them.
Okay. What was the eternal civilization like?
The skeleton stands quietly for a moment.
I'm not sure. Centuries in a tomb can warp one's memory. I remember the big things, of course. My library, my home, my king, my family. But the rest, it's all covered in a fog. And the more I see of this world, the thicker that fog seems to get.
You're intrigued by his ruler. Ask what an eternal king is like.
Once I would have boasted that it was the best form of government. Indeed, it was the only form of government we knew. Living forever under the rule of a wise king is one thing. But if that king should turn into a despot, if he should reject philosophy and the natural arts for the sake of power, well, I cannot imagine a worse torture.
A library? You were a librarian?
I was a scholar, researching the secrets of the universe. Had I been allowed to proceed, my people could have ascended to godhood as one. An entire race of deities, with a perfect understanding of the universe. It would have solved all of our problems.
Ask about his home. You can't imagine how it might have looked.
Indeed you cannot. Nothing in this world compares to it. We crafted our homes from stone and crystal, using the power of the universe itself to keep them in place.
Okay. Masovian inframaterialism. Okay, sure.
Your people, on the other hand, seem quite content to sit about in smoky hovels, held together by straw and filth. It's a mercy I don't have a nose. I cannot imagine how you stand it.
Point out that my family came rather low in his list.
They came rather low in my life, alas. My wife and daughter always had to compete with my work for my attention, and my work was always stiff competition. They were often neglected. I wonder how many more years they spent neglected before. Well, before whatever happened, happened.
Okay, let's change the subject. Say that something incredible happened. You met with your god in the Hall of Echoes. Sure, let's talk about that.
Indeed. So I gathered from your earlier prattling. I also met someone.
Ask who he met, if not a god.
Oh no, she was a god, by your standards.
Oh.
When I wore flesh, I knew her as the Lady Armadia. She was one of the 7 lords that served our king.
So his people aren't gone? Tell him that's great news. So Fane actually knew the gods? Ask what they were like. Let's go with the second one.
Naturally, they acted as any lords would. They bowed to their king and sneered at their lessers. And there was an awful lot of sneering, even back then. One can only imagine how much there is now.
Press him for details. You've met your god, but what about the others? Sure.
Oh, what do you want from me? I'm not here to gossip and titter about my lords. If you wish to know what they were like, you need only to look at yourselves. Each of the races were crafted not just in the image of their gods, but in their temperament too. Vrogir was large and strong as his orcs. Zantezza quick and witty as an imp. And Rallic prone to bouts of fighting and boasting, much like every human I've ever encountered. You were crafted as an act of ego, but one can hardly hold that against the creatures. In truth, the lords never troubled themselves with too much imagination.
Murmur that no matter the times, some things some things never change. There we go. Now I've got the sentence structure down. Sure.
Yes, well, if you are quite finished wasting my time, I believe we have some business to get on with.
Okay. The thought of divine power intrigues you. Ask Thane what he would do if he had such power.
What would I do? Oh, dear heart. It is not a question of would. It is a question of what will I do. It is only fitting, after all. You worshipped the Eternals as gods. Why not follow one as divine?
Okay, what will he do then?
The Lady Armadia has laid out the plight of the world and begged me to help fix it. It is a grave responsibility, but one that I gladly accept.
Argue that the gods may have been his folk, but the divine has always been immortal. Sure.
Yes. And how is that working out, I wonder? Perhaps if your precious Lucian had been a little less mortal, you would still have a divine, and the Voidwoken would not be trying to chew on my bones. Honestly, you turn your back for just a few millennia, and the world goes to stink.
Okay. What should the next move be?
Given enough time, I could walk from this island to the shore. But time is in short supply.
Okay, so leaving the island?
I must procure a quick way off this island, and that means procuring a ship. While there are certain unsightly bulges in your clothing, I doubt you are hiding an entire boat in there.
I do not.
It seems supporting the Seekers in their fight to take the Lady Vengeance is the path to follow.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I kind of neglected talking to them for a bit, so I think let's talk to Losa now.
I'd say we should stop to talk, but I'm swamped.
Let's ask what she makes of the place.
Don't make much of it one way or the other, but the farther we get away from the joy, the better. There's got to be a way off this island.
Tell Losa there's something on your mind if she has a minute to talk. Tell her you'd like to go your separate ways for now. Sure, I don't know what would be on my mind, but sure, let's see.
Sure thing, Chief. What's up?
Look at her with concern. Tell her eyes are looking worse. Say you want to talk about what happened with the elf's healer. Sure. Yeah, sure. Let's talk about that.
Okay. I don't.
Well, okay then.
Look, I know it was bad, okay? I know. You don't have to tell me. I'm sorry. I just want to move on.
Okay, I'm still gonna
I'd say we should stop to talk, but I'm swamped.
go through some other options
Sure
here.
thing, Chief. What's up?
Tell her you spoke to one of the gods in the Hall of Echoes.
One of the gods? Really? Well, look at you go. What did they say?
Tell her the truth. You met Sol Stissa, and she told you that Losa was a liability. Tell her half the truth. You met Sol Stissa, a god of the lizards. She called you her champion. Leave off the part where she told you to get rid of Losa. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that part out.
Champion to the gods, eh? Colour me impressed.
Correct her, champion to one god. The point was made very particularly. Lath, finally, you've been trying to impress her since Fort Joy. Ask what she was up to while you were cavorting with Divinity. I don't know. This whole holy warrior kind of thing is never really my vibe, so I'm not really gonna stress it. And I'm not gonna try to flirt now. What were you up to while I was cavorting with Divinity?
Oh, nothing worth mentioning.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about it yet. Okay, that's fine. How about you, Beast?
Out of the frying pan and into... You know what? You've heard that one before, so let's try a new one. Shite's all mucked up. Yeah, seems more to the point, doesn't it?
Urge him to tell you more about the Dwarven Rebellion. I would like to know more about that, yeah?
Well, it's complicated. Where to even begin?
About his fellow rebels.
They're guerrillas.
Beast chuckles as your forehead crinkles in confusion.
Do you mean the way that's spelled slightly differently?
You know, as in guerrilla warfare?
Yeah.
Ah, Geralt, I thought you had a funny bone in you, but I swear some witch doctor's gone and yanked it out. Good women, good men. Still fighting the good fight, too. Though most of them fled to the hinterlands. The Wave Dancer's crew's probably gone to join him. No offense to you, but I missed him. Still, it's probably best I don't subject him to all this.
Say you'd like to know what he was rebelling against? Sure.
Power, plain and simple. It's like this. Some people, when they get a taste of something delicious, they want more and more of it. Like fried sea bass. Once you start, you can't stop slurping. Justinia got a taste of that power the first time she threw a mouthy jester into the dungeon at the urging of her advisor, just because he pointed out her rotundness. That's a word, right?
It's a word.
That's where it started. And it still ain't finished.
Shake your head. So it only got worse from there. Say that as far as abuse of power is concerned, jailing a jester doesn't seem that awful. Suggest that he deserves it. Obesity jokes so hackneyed. I mean, yeah, those jokes tend to be really lame. Jailing a jester is probably not the best route for royalty to go down, though. That's like the one person that can critique you gone. So then it's just yes men. Probably not a good first step. That's so it only got worse from there.
Sure enough. Amazing how quick things change, too. When I was a lad, Laura would invite lizard dignitaries, elven seers, folk like that. Big fish from other ponds. Now, a lizard don't dare step foot in the kingdom, lest some sword-loving royalist scrape off his scales. Can't stand those types. But I don't blame them. Some folk, they've got the short end of the stick. They've got lots of anger in their hearts. And when your queen tells you who you're supposed to hate, well, that's who you hate. Shite like that. That's why I did the noble thing. I fought it. You shouldn't have to fear your own queen, and you shouldn't have to fear some bogeyman just because that queen's needing a scapegoat.
Okay, yeah. Ask about Loha. What's his role in all of this?
As far as I can tell, he's doing the queen's dirty work. And when we get off this tiny speck of an island, I'll be getting me some answers. Based on that letter, their plan was this. Lohar and his people sink a Magister ship, the Peacemaker. They transfer its cargo to the Victory, and then the Victory sails off to Duna knows where. No telling what the cargo is, but it means trouble.
He winks.
And not the good kind.
Wonder how he ended up on the ship to Fort Joy?
Aye, this is a good one. Now, close your eyes and let it wash over you.
Okay.
The beast of the sea is skippering his beloved ship, the Wave Dancer, heading to Reaper's Coast. His target's there, you see. A notorious criminal kingpin called Lohar. The sails are full and the crew's in right spirits, barking shanties like a chorus of seals. Tell my mates I sailed the straits, and soon will dock in the Echo's Hall. Ain't to last, though. Magister ships surround the Wave Dancer like sharks circling their prey. The brave rebels are on the ropes until the legendary beast boards the Magister flagship and summons a cyclone the likes of which no man or woman has seen. Rain and wind, void-woken everywhere, and our hero beast, the valiant, selfless beast, surrenders himself to the Magisters so the Wave Dancer may escape amid the rising chaos. What bravery! What sacrifice! Ah, what bollocks. I ain't no hero. Besides, you know how the rest goes. Hell, you're helping to write it. The Magisters haul me off, and soon enough, I'm heading to Fort Joy. Collared, like the beast I am.
Not in agreement. It sounds to you like his crewmates are the real heroes. Point out that he enjoys a bit of embellishment. Can you trust him to be honest with you? Look him in the eye. He's a hero. Make no mistake. Sure, let's go with number 3 here. I like Beast.
Ah, you're making me blush. Truth is, a captain's only as good as his crew, but we all share a common goal. Freedom. The dwarven people, we've been through a lot. We deserve it. So, how'd they get you?
Say it was bad luck, wrong place, wrong time. Shrug, does it really matter? You're here now in any case. Say it happened the way it happens to everyone. They heard you were a sorcerer and hauled you off. Since I don't know what happened beforehand, I guess this is my time to kind of fill in my backstory, I suppose. Sure, it was bad luck, wrong place, wrong time.
Reckon that's the case for all us sorry souls who find ourselves on this flea-bitten island. As for me,
He runs a hand slowly down the plaits of his beard, smiling sumptuously.
I don't plan to spend a moment longer here than is strictly necessary. And here I thought I was a talker.
Say that something incredible happened. You met with your god in the Hall of Echoes.
Is that so? Look, I don't know where you've been and what you saw, but I believe you believe it. And I guess that's what matters, yeah?
Yeah. What comes next?
We find a ship, and we sail off into the great blue yonder.
Okay, good. Now that the conversations I had, Thane was of course the biggest talker because, I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it? I'm gonna turn you into a, Does a human have a lot of advantages? I don't remember. You can be a human for a bit. There you go. And now, I guess, since we have plenty of money on us, let's go to Fort Joy Square. Let's travel there. Let's see, I want to do some trading. Ooh, right, there's the hatch down there that we found very early on.
Keep it down, will ya?
Still on your feet, eh? Glad to hear it. Feel
Yeah.
free to take a gander at the stock, if you're so inclined.
Like this hatch, we could go down there and check what that is all about, since we haven't done that. Sure, I'll take a look.
Only the finest, you know.
Now, we have 3,186 gold, and we have plenty of stuff that we can still sell. I might edit this out, like the whole sorting thing. Yeah, I'll edit this out. I'll see you when the trading is pretty much complete, or you can see what I'm buying.